Check it out, check it out. Top 10 reasons to buy land. I probably wrote this list 6 months ago. Top 10 reasons. And here I am, many months later, and I'm going to be leasing land. How on earth can I accept that, rationalize, justify that, when leasing land was nowhere near on my radar? I'm a list maker. I also have here justifying the $495 a month that I'm going to be spending giving to somebody else to lease land. Yeah. How did that all come to be? I have already shared that with you, and today I'm going to share with you my rationalization, my justification, and how I am able to, how God has fulfilled every single one of these reasons in leasing land over buying land. Hope you'll join me. Serene and simple life with today's Sit and Share Sunday. Wow, I hope you have been enjoying the series. The first in the series, I explained to you my journey about buying land and how it all came to be to lease land instead of buying. Then the second Sit and Share Sunday is all about how my personality really fits into the community that I'm going to be fitting into. And what I need is, and what I've learned about myself that makes total sense of where I'm going to be living. And then the third Sunday, or the third Sit and Share Sunday, I did how buying land would have come to be had my circumstances been different. And I may still be on that land journey or have made a decision to buy land. And today, I am going to share with you my top 10 reasons to buy land, but instead of buying land, it's my top 10 reasons to lease land, and they're exactly the same. God has fulfilled all of my wants and needs. Is that exciting? And then, if you stick with me here, I am going to justify the $495 a month that I am going to be paying, leasing to somebody, and how I bring it down. I cut it in over half as far as what I'll really be spending. All right, with no further ado, my first on this list, I did not rewrite this list, it is as it is. I wrote no rent. No rent. Well, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, it does. I'm going to be leasing the land, and I'm going to be owning my tiny cabin. So I'm not paying rent. I'm not paying rent like as if I was in an apartment or when I was renting a room from somebody. I'm actually going to own my tiny cabin on wheels, and I'll be leasing the land. So there is no rent. It's all in the words. If I was writing no leasing, that would be different, right? Number 2, oh, this is something to pass on to my 2 children. Yeah, owning a piece of land and you pass it on to your children. Makes sense, right? I didn't write what I was passing on here. I just wrote pass on. I am going to have a tiny home cabin to pass on to my children. They can sell it, split the profit. They can put it in their backyard maybe, or they can put it somewhere where they can go as a little reprieve for themselves. They could share it with each other. You know, I mean, it's endless what they could end up doing with this tiny cabin when I pass on. They could rent it. I'm excited. Number 3, I want to share the love and my knowledge with others. Workshops, yeah. And I would be doing that on my land. Well, there are like 5 state parks close by. There's a pavilion. I'm going to be able to share my expertise and workshops, regardless of buying or leasing or whatever, of buying land. Exciting. Number 4, Serenity. This was a big one. Serenity in knowing I don't have any lawn care upkeep. I don't have hoops to jump through with septic and water and electric and driveways. It's all there. It's all there. And the serenity of the surroundings. I'm going to be surrounded by woods. Oh my gosh. Does God not only meet but exceed our desires? I think so. Number 5, simplicity. The simplicity, it kind of just ties right in with serenity. That simple enough. I'm having my tiny cabin built, and it will be rolling in on wheels, and there will be total simplicity in where I'm living. Nature trail, able to walk every day. That has to do with serenity. Serenity and simplicity, they go hand in hand. Number 6, security. When I wrote that, top 10 reasons to buy land, security, what did I mean by that? Did I mean security in I own my own land, nothing can go wrong? I still have security because now, instead of a tiny home cabin being on a foundation, it's on wheels. And wheels suits me. If something should happen, like the time when I owned my own little mobile home in Arizona and I was leasing the land, and then the Indians, their lease expired and we had to move, and that was a lawsuit and made out on that. I've got security. I've got security. Security in my home and it being on wheels, where I had never thought that I would really want something on wheels. I wanted more like that shed into cabin, which I know you can move that too and put it on a flatbed and take it. But the wheels is going to be so easy, and I have that security. And then digging a little deeper, I have the security of knowing when I go out to go do, I have neighbors. And they're not neighbors where you can smell their dinner or know what they're watching on TV. They're neighbors in the distance that can see my tiny cabin and keep an eye on it. When I was out looking to buy land, I wanted neighbors in the distance, but there never seemed to be a happy medium because of the restrictions. You are either out in the boonies by yourself with a neighbor way in the distance doing his thing with his land, and maybe he can see you through the trees and maybe not, or in a mobile home park or somewhere where you're a lot closer to each other. Even when I was looking at that tiny home community, and that was over a year ago now. I had the dates wrong in another video. That was March of 2020. Yeah, March 2020. So it's been over a year since I've looked at that. Yay! Number 7, sound investment. Well, that kind of goes back to the passing it on to my children, no rent kind of thing. The investment is my tiny cabin. It's not the land. And with that, this doesn't mean that I'm going to be leasing forever either. I could start saving money for a piece of land. And once I'm comfortable and I know areas, or I meet a friend and we decide to do something together, I mean, this isn't like the end. You know, change is inevitable, and I'm not thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to lease for a year and then I'm out of here. I'm not thinking like that at all. But my investment is my home, and I could have potentially 2 investments down the road. I didn't write 2 sound investments on here. I only wrote sound investment. You see where I'm going with this? I didn't really detail this, and I'm a detail person. So God is filling all these needs. Number 8, something new. Yes, being in a tiny home community with like-minded people, that is something new. And living in a forest area, it is definitely going to be something new. Something new in getting off the road after 3 years. And I'm not off the road permanently. I still have the gypsy soul blood running through my veins. I always will. But this is going to be something new. Get up and I'm stationary, and I've got a beautiful view, and I've got people to talk to, and I'll have a picnic table, and I'll have a barbecue grill, and yeah, something new. When I wrote that, it was about buying land. You're going to own your land, something new. The something new is the tiny cabin. I just didn't know that at the time. Scenery. I wanted scenery, and I'm telling you, that was one of the more difficult things in looking for unrestricted land, is having something nice to look at, because mountain views and lake views and water are expensive views. Just because you're in Tennessee doesn't mean you're going to have a view of the mountains. As you all well know, who followed me on that journey, when I ended up in $1 million home communities where I thought I was looking for unrestricted land, and there was no unrestricted land there, but the views were $1 million views. Now I'm going to be where there's trees around me, and the scenery will be the cute tiny cabins around me, and it just all ties together. Serenity, simplicity, scenery, security, sound investment. I didn't realize I was doing all these S's. And lastly, number 10, seeking God's best. Seeking God's best. What does that mean? I wrote at the bottom, there is joy in the journey. I was seeking God's best for me, and God knew much more about what was best for me. I was not able to afford 100% cash, land, and tiny home, which I've already talked about in previous Sit and Share Sundays in this series. I was stretching the dollar. I thought, oh, I'll get a shell, like a cabin shell, and then I'll have it built out, and they won't know that it's not fully built out, and I'll have the electrical, and then I'll make some more money, and then I'll be able to pay for plumbing, and eventually it'll all work out, and I can live with all of this because I've been living without plumbing and electric for how long? So I know how to do that. That wasn't God's best. His best for me was put all your resources into your tiny cabin, including the decorating. I need a recliner. I thought, oh, I can sleep in Happy Haven if I have to until I can afford a recliner. That's not God's best. His best is that when I walk in that door, I will have enough cash left over to get a few of these things that I need to complete the cabin. I'm just so excited. So there you have it, guys. Just really, really simple. This community and God has exceeded my expectations, and I'm just so excited. I can hardly wait. All right, so I told you I was going to share with you how I was justifying $495, because all that I just told you is all well and good, but the bottom line is I'm writing a check for $495 a month. Well, here you go. First of all, I'm spending $49 a month on a storage unit. I would continue to spend $49 a month on a storage unit if I wasn't getting land. And, it goes back to being able to afford and all the other reasons that I shared with you of how I would have bought land if things were different. Water, $30 a month. Well, I'd be paying water if I owned my own land, and here the water is included. Trash, $10 a month. I'm just guesstimating. I have no idea right now. It could be 20, it could be 15. That's included. Lawn maintenance. Many of you mentioned, you're going to need someone to, like that one piece of land I looked at, there was so much land behind me that, every couple months I'd have to, come in and have somebody, what's that called, bushwhack it or something. And so I said, $50 a month for lawn maintenance. The gym, $25. Well, I don't know, eventually sitting on land all by myself, I would be saying, you know what, I think I need to join the gym. Just go out and join the gym and be around some people. Who knows how far that gym would be? I didn't even put gas in there. So I justified $25 a month, where now I'm not going to need to join the gym because I'm going to have a little backyard where I do my stretches and I do my weights, and then I take a walk. So I will get back to walking every single day, just right out my front door. Yay! I'm going to be, hopefully, at least this year, paying a year in advance. So there is a 10% savings. I'll be saving $44 a month if I can save up the money every year and pay a year at a time. Property taxes. I don't know, I guesstimated $20 a month. I'm not going to be paying the property taxes, which many of you mentioned too. Land is not free because you have your taxes. And lastly, well, I'll share that with you in a second. So $495 a month. I took off $278 from what I just told you, which leaves me $217 a month. And I consider that an HOA for all the amenities that I will have. A pool, pavilion, doggy park, walking trail, security of my neighbors. I didn't even put that in there. So there you have it. Can we say, woohoo! I'm excited. I just bringing it down from $495 to $217, and that would be an HOA for all the amenities, or that is the HOA for all the amenities. Okay. I wrote on a little piece of paper that I want to share. If something doesn't work out, God always has something better. That's your takeaway for the day. If something doesn't work out, God always has something better. And I'm going to leave you with, say it, display it. This is from the business collection. You can check that out in the link in the description, sayitdisplayit.com. Every day is a new beginning. Focus on the journey, not the destination. Yes, I have a landing zone, a place to retreat, reprieve, regroup, but I'm still focusing on the journey. Life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you respond to it. Yeah. Never regret anything. Never. I might have regretted buying land. Just saying, God's in the details. Be the reason someone smiles today. Thank you all. I hope you enjoyed this series on my land journey and explaining to you various aspects of that. And going to share with you in another Sit and Share Sunday coming up. What am I going to be doing while I wait for my cabin to be built, which could be anywhere from 3 to 8 months. Oh my gosh. I've got a plan. And I'm going to share that with you next Sunday. Please subscribe, click the bell, share with your friends so that they too can be empowered, encouraged, and live life to the fullest, one day at a time. Blessings in your day and joy in the journey. One more thing, I left out one of the expenses that I justified in paying the lease of my land, and that is $50 a month to go see do. That would be gas money. Why am I subtracting that? Because I feel like I'm going to be in the moment, enjoying my surroundings, embracing them, and not like going out searching. Now, I'm still going to be doing that, but not as much. So I budget $200 a month for gas now, or $250, and when I'm stationary for a bit, it'll probably go down to, it could go down to $150 or $100 a month. I had a girlfriend remind me too that when she had sticks and bricks and she had a beautiful backyard, hammock, picnic table, everything, she still wanted to go see do. Well, I know that I'm going to still want to go see do, but because I have amenities, I don't have to go to the city park to look for a walking trail, or I don't have to go somewhere where there's a pool, or I don't know, if I get a dog, I'll have the doggy park. I'm just saying. So that would be a new expense, but it's in the back of my mind. Put in the comments, what kind of dog do you think I should get? I'm thinking little dog, easy maintenance, something that doesn't mind if I'm gone, isn't too needy, but yet needs me. Okay, so for those of you who were adding up all those expenses, I had left out the 50. Okay, later.